Why do some of the world's richest people live like they're not? This is the art of stealth wealth, a deliberate choice to downplay riches. It's more than humility. It's a smart strategy with real benefits. In today's video, we'll uncover why billionaires hide their wealth, how it helps them thrive, and how you can use this approach to build a better life. Spoiler, it's not about giving up joy, it's about gaining freedom and focus. Let's dive into the power of stealth wealth and discover how it can work for you, no matter your bank balance. Billionaires often blend into the crowd to shield themselves from unwanted attention. When you're worth billions, showing off wealth can draw scammers, opportunists, or safety risks. Choosing plain clothes or simple homes keeps them under the radar, like an invisible shield in a world obsessed with money. Keeping wealth quiet preserves control. Flaunting riches changes how people see you. Friends might act differently, and business deals can get tricky when your net worth overshadows your ideas. A low-key lifestyle builds genuine connections and keeps negotiations fair. Billionaires earn respect for their minds, not their bank accounts. Wealth grows by saving, not spending. Pouring money into status symbols can erode even vast fortunes. Billionaires who live simply focus on investments or causes that matter, like funding ventures or giving back quietly. This discipline ensures their wealth endures, not fades. A low-profile life brings peace. Avoiding pressure to compete with other elites lets billionaires focus on what drives them: growing a business, solving problems, or enjoying quiet moments. Stealth wealth isn't just a choice. It's a way to protect freedom and stay true to their goals. Stealth wealth also allows the rich to enjoy real freedom. When you're constantly upgrading your lifestyle to match your income, you trap yourself. Bigger houses mean bigger bills. Flashier cars mean more attention. And once that attention starts, it's hard to go back. People expect more from you. So the wealthy who practice stealth wealth avoid that trap from the start. They keep their lifestyle steady even when their income grows. This lets them use their money for freedom, not for image. They can say no to things. They can walk away from deals. They don't feel pressure to keep up because they were never trying to compete in the first place. For the truly wealthy, buying expensive things rarely feels like a priority. The novelty wears off fast. Most of them have had the experience of spending big, feeling the short thrill, and realizing it added nothing to their life. Over time, they stop chasing that feeling. Instead, they invest, not just in business, but in peace, in people, in causes they care about. They build portfolios, not closets. Their focus shifts from showing wealth to keeping and growing it. And because they don't constantly show it off, they don't have to maintain a version of themselves that's tied to status. That makes their life easier and more flexible. Living under the radar also keeps their relationships cleaner. When nobody knows exactly how much they have, people approach them more honestly. There's no guessing, no assumptions, and no hidden motives. They can form real friendships. They can work with people who value ideas over money, and they can enjoy conversations without constantly filtering through who wants something from them. Stealth wealth protects not just their bank account, it protects their human connections. They know that once their money becomes the main character, everything else in the story changes. Even within their families, many wealthy people practice quiet habits. They don't tell their children everything. They don't spoil them with luxury or explain every financial detail. They understand that if kids grow up knowing there's always money behind them, they may never develop the hunger or discipline they need. That's why a lot of billionaires raise their children in modest environments. The house might be nice, but the lessons are simple. Earn what you want, save what you earn, be useful. Don't rely on someone else's success. They build values first, wealth later. The wealthy also stay out of the spotlight on purpose. Many of them could be front-page news if they wanted to, but they avoid public attention because they know it brings risk. Interviews, features, and social media fame come with costs. People dig into your life. Opinions form. Stories get twisted. The wealthiest people often choose to keep their profiles low because it lets them move without being watched. They can travel freely, shop peacefully, and live normally. Attention makes everything heavier. Stealth makes everything smoother. There's also less pressure to perform. The moment you become the rich friend or the rich cousin, people expect you to act a certain way. They expect you to cover the bill. They expect you to dress a certain way or give more than you want to. Many wealthy people get tired of those assumptions, so they avoid them altogether by not looking rich. They dress simply, show up quietly, and stay humble, not because they have to, but because it gives them breathing room. They can choose what to do instead of being pushed into it by other people's expectations. Stealth wealth keeps things private, and privacy to the rich is power. They don't want to be known for what they have. They want to be known for who they are, or sometimes not known at all. That anonymity gives them space to build quietly, give quietly, and live on their own terms. It lets them support causes without being asked for more. It lets them make changes without attracting noise. It protects their homes, their time, and their families from attention that often becomes a burden. For the wealthy, modesty isn't a limitation. It's a choice. They've seen what happens when people lose control of their image. They've watched others rise fast, spend hard, and crash just as quickly. They've learned that lasting wealth isn't about showing it. It's about managing it, and the ones who stay rich the longest are usually the ones you never see coming. So if you're ever wondering why the person next to you in line is wearing old sneakers and driving a simple car, it might not be because they have nothing. It might be because they have everything. And they're smart enough not to show it. They understand that wealth isn't just about numbers. It's about leverage. Quiet wealth gives you room to think before reacting, to invest without being pushed, and to live without fear of losing status. That's the real win. Not applause, not recognition, but the calm that comes with not needing either. The wealthy who embrace stealth don't look for validation because they already know where they stand. Their goals aren't tied to outside approval. They're focused on longevity. That's why they move differently. They take longer to make decisions. They say no often. They don't rush to upgrade everything after a good year. In fact, many of them actively avoid new commitments. They don't tie themselves to unnecessary obligations just to look a certain way. This restraint protects them from the roller coaster that ruins so many others. They'd rather look average and be free than look rich and be stuck. They know the world watches too closely. The moment you flash something expensive, people assume. The assumptions lead to questions. The questions lead to pressure, and before long you're stuck trying to explain things that should have remained personal. So instead of putting their wealth on display, they bury it quietly in the background, in trust funds, in index funds, in boring assets that quietly grow over time. It's not exciting, but that's the point. Excitement fades, steady doesn't. What they gain from this lifestyle is something most people miss. Privacy. In a loud world, privacy is a luxury. When you're not being watched, you make better choices. You don't perform, you don't pretend. You just live. And the wealthy who understand this hold on to their privacy like it's their greatest asset, because in many ways it is. They've also learned that attention is expensive. It looks free at first. A viral post, a flashy car, a big announcement. But it comes with costs. People knocking at your door, people judging your choices, people asking for favors, and people waiting for you to fall. That's why so many rich people avoid attention. Not because they're antisocial, but because they know it comes with strings. And while the world chases louder ways to be seen, they've found peace in being invisible. It's not about fear, it's about peace of mind. The peace of sitting in a cafe and not being recognized. The peace of attending events as a guest, not the center of the room. The peace of knowing that your life is yours, not a performance for someone else's opinion. This approach doesn't mean they don't enjoy life. They travel, they spend, they give, but they do it with thought, not noise. A quiet vacation, a private donation, a well-timed investment. No one needs to know. And that's the beauty of it. The satisfaction doesn't come from being seen, it comes from being in control. Because at the end of the day, real wealth isn't about changing how the world sees you. It's about changing how you move through the world. Stealth wealth isn't just how the rich live, it's how they stay rich. And the smartest ones know, the moment you need to show it, you risk losing it. So the next time you wonder why someone wealthy lives like they don't have to, remember, it's not because they're cheap. It's because they've already figured out the part most people never learn. Wealth that's quiet lasts longer than wealth that's loud. And that quiet, that's where the freedom really is.